Night finally loosened its grip on the heat. The dunes sighed, releasing the day's fire like an old sleeper rolling in its bed. Wind slithered low across cracked clay, brushing over buried ribs of creatures long forgotten. A crescent of wanderers sat around the fire. Desert clans in smoke cured leather. Redwood climbers wrapped in bark-woven cloaks. Jungle edge scouts painted with vine dye and old bite scars. Their armor was a museum of the wide land. Plates hammered from fallen sky iron, old world metal beaten thin and bound with hide. Bone charms carved with clan marks. Feathers blackened by years of storm and smoke. High above, a lone sky knife glided across the stars, its wings slicing the moonlight. Far across the flat dark, 8 great spires blinked their slow, ancient signals. Not towers, not temples, watchers left behind by the before. Old Mar stepped into the firelight. He carried winters in his bones, truth in his breath, and certainty in his stride. He lifted a hand. 3 drummers struck the sacred rhythm. Boom, boom, boom. The old call for memory. Mar warmed his palms over the flames, exhaled once, and began.
I know the tale.
A low, knowing chuckle.
The one with the name that ticks, eh? Tick-tick.
Faces leaned closer. Shadows shifted like listeners in the dark beyond the circle.
Strange to your ears, maybe, not to the dust, nor to the old bones of this land. He weren't born with that name. Nay, he earned it, in blood, in silence.
He raised one crooked finger.
When death brushed close to him, ye got no warning. Only a sound. Tick, tick.
Some children flinched. A few warriors muttered old protection phrases.
The ratchet of his crossbow, his favorite, cranked by hand, could have kept it quiet, but he wanted the sound. Tick, tick. Said a man's last breath ought to know what killed him. By the time ye heard that sound, swoosh, you were already done.
Drummers echoed it, soft as bone taps. Tick, tick. Wind bent low to listen. A distant flute gave a wandering, lonely note. The child speaks.
What happened next?
A small voice. Afraid. Hungry for the tale. Mar smiled gently.
What happened next, lass? I'll tell ye, but not fast. Stories like this didn't need to run. They crawl like smoke in your lungs, like ruin through memory.
He nodded toward the distant jungle cliffs.
Because when this tale truly begins, Skyhold had already started dying.
Drums struck 3 slow, rumbling beats.
The sky turned red, not dusk. Raiders, scores of them, torches in their fists, teeth in their eyes. Flames poured down the jungle cliffs like a starved beast. Metal screamed. Sirens stayed dead.
A ripple of unease moved through the circle.
Too late. The towers cold, blind, watching nothing. Maybe storms killed the gut works of the before. Maybe someone betrayed 'em. We never learned. There's a silence louder in alarms. You feel it in your teeth. The drums trembled like a herd stirring somewhere distant, and the beasts felt it too.
Ma said softly.
The spiked tails thundered through the underbrush. The tree necks cried to the canopy, and even the tyrant brothers, candid and lazy, giants of the green edge, fled deeper into the wild.
He paused, letting the names glow in the firelight.
And what comes next?
Ma said.
I heard with these ears, and some tick-tick told me himself.
He tapped his chest.
Gave me the bones, made me chew the meat. They swear he stood on the east gantry when the first grappling hooks struck the rails. Scarved faces climbed the lip, glass knives in their teeth, smoke tins in their fists, ropes burn in their palms. He didn't shout.
Drums whispered.
Tick, tick. One bolt pulled a hoof. Another took a throat. A third snapped a knee sideways. A raider rushed blind. Tick-tick shoved him into the ladder well. Rungs rattled. Another fool went down with him. Then he ripped a cable, looped a boot, swung the gap, landed on the chest plate, stomped the bread from its owner, fired point blank. Below, the main gate was screaming. Acid had eaten the hinges raw. Then a message from Isel. A voice cracked in his ear, static first, then sharp as cut stone.
Vote 3, now.
Isel.
He said her name. Then Glint squinted, left 3 shadows in smoke. Right, 2 shields and a breach man. He had choices. He took none. He ran, the kill lane, across the gantry, down choked stairs where lights flickered like dying eyes. The comm whispered again.
Gates fell. Vault 3, red. Move.
The corridor narrowed. Kill lane, his design. But plans cut both ways. A sharp drum crack, rail burst slammed him. Iron thunder through flesh. He stayed up, another burst tore stone. He slid, fired blind, heard a man yelp. Another step, another tick, another body. And then the vault. Inside the vault, the betrayal. The door hung crooked, forced, gouged by claws or tools, and inside
Ma's voice fell to a hush.
was Reyes.
Even the fire seemed to dim.
Once brother, fire born beside him, shared dust, starvation, even blood, but men break in different ways.
Hermano.
No words passed. He raised an invisible blade, obsidian, black as burnt bone, slide it in, crack, twist.
You weren't meant to grow old, only wallow and rot. Die like swine.
The floor took him hard, cold. He didn't cry, didn't shout, just ended.
Did he die?
The child asked. Ma didn't answer at once. The fire popped.
He
said at last.
He died proper.
A pause, longer this time.
What left him wasn't meat or marrow.
Ma went on, voice rougher now.
It was the part that remembers being alive. That part slid away from the world.
He stared into the coals.
And it went where all of us go.
The circle went very still.
No road, no sky, no ground ye can stand on. Just the world's deep hold, where names loosen and time forgets what it's carrying.
Ma swallowed.
That place doesn't rage, doesn't punish. It waits.
The child hugged her knees.
Was it cold?
She asked. Ma's mouth twitched. Not quite a smile.
Colder and colder.
He said quietly.
Cold enough that most souls stop wanting.
A beat.
But tick-tick
Ma added softer now, almost fond.
was a stubborn bastard. No dark, no shape, not even a self, just pressure like a mountain closing in from all sides. The codex wrapped round him, the old law o' the before still humming in the world's bones, peeling his thread loose.
You are finished. No longer needed.
Swine.
He damn near
Swine.
let go,
Swine.
but her voice found him. Not face, not shadow, just wait.
You are not done. Not yet.
Something curled inside him, not spirit, will, a red coil, a refusal. He clenched fists he didn't have, and in the crushing hush he pulled, breath to name, name to shape, and then he was there. One heartbeat, ruin, and Skyhold dead for months. Stone blackened, tiles split by heat, glass panels of the before shattered, their ghost light long gone. Wires hanging like dead veins, sleepers rotted or torn apart, and the beasts curled where they fell, jaws locked, spines arched, claws sunk deep into stone. The desert had done its work. Insects fled long ago. Stench burned away, leaving only dust sealed in ribs. The wind didn't move. Then tick-tick. Not a vow. Not a roar. Just presence. He grabbed his side, where the invisible blade had struck. No wound. Memory struck him like a thrown boulder. He stumbled back into ash, crawled blind, gasping like a newborn dragged from clay. He saw ruin, saw death, saw months carved into every beam and bone, and realized he was breathing. He dropped to his knees. Palms struck dust, and then came the cry. A sound torn from the deep part of a man that still believes he is dying. It rolled through the dead halls, shook rafters, woke echoes that hadn't moved in seasons. He rose barefoot in his own ash. No enemies, no friends, only purpose. He walked through ruin, not to mourn, not to rebuild. He returned for one thing.
Ma whispered.
To exist as man, not memory, not code, and the world watched, the spires blinking slow and strange, their old hearts stirring, and Tick-Tick stepped into the bones of his fortress. The wind stilled, as if it remembered him.
He came back.
He breathed.
Aye, lad.
Ma nodded.
Tick-Tick.
He straightened. Fear traded for excitement.
The last waker!
He blurted, too loud. A ripple of chuckles moved through the circle. One of the drummers hid a grin behind his hand. Ma turned to him with a gentle look. No anger, just wait.
Easy now,
He said softly.
Some names aren't meant for twisting.
He let the firelight catch his eyes.
Ashwaker.
He corrected, low and true, letting the word sit between them like a coal. The laughter faded. The circle settled. For a moment, only the fire spoke. Embers shifted. The drums waited. Ma looked around at the gathered faces.
You've had the bones of the ending,
He said.
If you want the rest, we go back. Back to when there were no towers, no raid, no name at all. Just a man, a herd path, and the first wrong wind.
He thumbed his knife hilt, then added, almost to himself,
He told me once, with that dry half-smile, just the bones, lad. The rest you'll live to chew.
He drew a slow breath. A single drumbeat rolled through the sand. Boom.
Lean in,
Ma murmured, voice gone low and certain.
and behold where it begins.
He glanced toward the darkness beyond the firelight. For a heartbeat, he seemed to recognize a familiar silhouette standing just outside the glow, still, listening. Ma's eyes softened. A small, knowing smile touched one corner of his mouth. He lifted his spear and knocked the butt once against the earth.
The Ashwaker.